observation of how the mountains have changed. So where I am now, they appear more like sand dunes in coloration, and they're kind of like more like peaked, like they come up to a triangle. So and when you look out, they're like really dark. So it's not that the soil is dark, it's that there's a lot of vegetation. So it's very low growing vegetation. It appears to be like they're probably some type of an evergreen. So there are some trees, but they're not real tall. Again, there's some type of evergreen. I don't know what. So it's changed again. So these mountains, I guess I never realized just how extensive they are. You know, I was sharing with some people this week that I thought the mountains were like the Rocky Mountains, like, you know, so you leave Wisconsin and you come and you get to the mountains and you go up and you go down and you're through. But no, they go on and on and on and on, north and south and east, or further west, I should say. And the colors change. Whether there's vegetation on them or not changes. What a fascinating world we live in. I'm so grateful I get to see this. So grateful indeed. So, you know, so this YouTube channel of mine is called Growing Old, Not Getting Old. And I haven't talked about that for quite some time. So I'll give you a quick little synopsis of what this is about. So for me, it is, you know, if you're lucky, chronologically, you are going to get old. But I don't think that, like, getting old is about slowing down physically or mentally. It is so important to keep on growing in whatever way you can. Learning new things, meeting new people, having new experiences. You know, there's like, sometimes like you have to like do things differently than what you did when you were younger. You know, like for me, for example, and I've shared this before, I ride a recumbent trike. And why do I ride a recumbent trike? It's because I could no longer ride my two-wheeler, my upright bike, diamond frame, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't do it. I did a week-long bike tour, and at the end of that tour, like, I had very little feelings left in my hands because, you know, I rode bent over on the drop bars and roll bars, whatever you might call them. And so, and then I did the next weekend, I did a 2-day ride, and what was that? Was that a gopher or a groundhog? I don't know, something with this little tail sticking straight up in the air, just came running across the road. Oh, very cool. Anyhow, so at the end of that ride, like, I could not hold a fork. It took about a month and a half before I could actually hold a fork again. You know, I just happened to look at my phone. I hope that this video at least shows my face so that it's not just like, I don't know, like, who's doing that talking? Anyhow, so I couldn't ride a bike anymore, a two-wheeler, and so that's why I went to bought a recumbent trike. So don't stop riding. Ride in a different way. Don't stop walking. Walk in a different way. You know, do whatever, but keep on going. Keep on growing. So anyhow, so that's it. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about BLM. So BLM, Bureau of Land Management. You know, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos about van lifers, and a lot of them would talk about camping on BLM land. A lot of times BLM land camping is free, or it is very, very inexpensive. expensive. There's like no amenities, or if there is, it's very, very little. So driving around where we were, around in the Arches and Canyonlands and that, you would see like places where there would just be like RVs just parked kind of willy-nilly, and I couldn't figure out really what were they doing out there. But now it's come to me. So those were BLM lands, and so, you know, maybe it was people who are vacationing, maybe it's people who that's where their life is, living in their RVs and their vans. So I've heard pros and cons of camping on BLM lands. People say, you know, some of them are very nice, and some I guess they consider to be, you know, maybe not so nice. You know, you have people staying there who are maybe like really down on their luck, and perhaps they're not the nicest of people. Who knows? Let's not judge. But anyhow, so that was what we saw a lot of out there, was people camping on BLM lands. I know some of them might be there because maybe they had maybe they were towing a four-wheeler, or had a mountain bike on the back, because that seems to be like such a awesome thing to do out here. So, all right, well, that's it. I'm, again, north of Rifle, heading into Meeker, and I'll get back to you again in a little while with some more stories about what took